One thing I can say for sure is that Bungie is an absolutely incompetent lot. Basically, I don't know if you've noticed, so Destiny 2 has been around for quite some time, and a lot of content has been made for Destiny 2. So over time, it becomes a little bit too much. The content makes the game a little bit more bloated, so in order to cut down on size of the install size and a few other bits and pieces here and there, Bungie basically decided, hey, you know what, we're gonna vault content in Destiny 2. And this whole vaulted content idea, I think, is an awful idea, because who knows when that content will ever make a return, and I don't think it's possible that content will ever make a return if it does get vaulted. The reason why I think that is because of this Bungie lawsuit that's going on, which I don't think a lot of people would actually know about. In fact, I didn't know about it until now. Basically, Bungie has to provide evidence from the original Destiny 2's campaign and a little bit of its following DLC in order to be able to win out in a court case against some guy who's arguing copyright infringement. So basically, a judge denied Bungie's motion to dismiss the case because it can't present the archived content in question. And it's funny to see that, because basically they tried to be like, okay, we can't access the content, therefore we can't use it as evidence for the court case, and for that reason we're gonna try and get it, get the whole thing dismissed, get it thrown out basically. And they failed in doing that, because what they suggested, or rather what Bungie suggested, was the best way to be able to see the content is to suggest looking at fan-made YouTube lore videos and walkthroughs of the original campaign, because the code is so outdated that it wouldn't work on the current version of Destiny 2, and they aren't able to provide an older version of Destiny 2, which is very interesting, yet kind of funny to see just how this whole thing has kind of ended up for them. They basically shot themselves in their own foot. So, Bungie has failed to have a copyright lawsuit thrown out because it's incapable of presenting the game content being challenged now that it's been quote-unquote vaulted. And you think that out of anyone in the world who can still access the content, you'd think it would still be not Destiny, you'd think it would be Bungie, but the thing is, they can't. So, basically, what they said was, here we go, so here's their reasoning. The Red War and Curse of Osiris legacy builds can no longer run because their outdated code is incompatible with Destiny 2's underlying operational framework, which has evolved considerably since the Red War and Curse of Osiris campaigns were retired. Tyson Green, the game director of Destiny 2, said in an affidavit. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. I really don't know what to say, but hey, you could have probably made worse decisions, but that decision came from the fact that when Bungie filed the motion against Matthew Kelsey Martineau, who was the author who wrote something on a WordPress blog that was apparently taken to become, supposedly has become what is now known as Destiny 2's Red Legion. I'm not 100% on that. But basically what Bungie said was, let me just see. Yeah, they said that the examples cited in Martineau's suit are demonstrably different in Destiny 2 than in his work. But it's the word demonstrably that they used, which has become an issue, because now they have to present the actual content of the game, and they're unable to do that. So if they're not able to do that, and the alternative they've suggested of watching fan-made YouTube videos isn't going to work, then what other options do they have? Basically, I'm kind of looking at this and thinking to myself, I don't think they have much of a chance in actually being able to win this case, because they can't defend themselves in the end. And that's, like I said, it's just very funny to see, as like a company that was known to have, be able to do no wrong, that Destiny was so successful for them. I reckon they should have just stuck to Halo, if I'm being completely honest, but hey, it is what it is. So that's the reasoning that they've given. And so, and actually there's more to the reasoning here. As a result, Bungie cannot feasibly provide the court with the original Destiny 2 game as it existed in 2017, including the Accused Red War and Curse of Osiris campaigns, in any operable or reviewable form, nor will Bungie be able to produce the Accused campaign in operable or reviewable form if this matter proceeds to formal discovery. So it hasn't even hit discovery yet. Interesting. Yeah, so some players submitted YouTube videos, entries, and fan Destinypedia wiki explaining the lore of the now archived content. Now, the court decided this wasn't sufficient evidence, has denied Bungie's motion, as we talked about earlier, because Martinu's accusations are aimed at the game's story itself, not third-party retellings of it, which is interesting. While plaintiff does reference Destiny 2 in his complaint, he does not reference the YouTube videos containing Destiny 2 game footage or Destinypedia or the Tyson Declaration. So that's what the judge Susie Morgan orders said. She said, she also added, the court will not consider the exhibits attached to defendant's motion to dismiss and will not convert the defendant's motion to dismiss a motion for summary judgment, the court wrote. There has not been sufficient time for discovery and the attachments are admittedly of third-party origination. Their authenticity cannot be established. The case will therefore continue. Oof. And that's a good way of putting it. The authenticity cannot be established. Basically saying that we can't really say that this third-party content is not authentic, or rather, in addition to that, the fact that it's not created without some some Bungie fanboyism, so it wouldn't be a fair comparison from their perspective, which could absolutely be the case, because again, people love Bungie, people love Destiny. There's probably no surprise in that sort of judgment. But I'm actually interested to hear what you have to say, what you guys think about all of this, and especially with the idea of like this whole thing being thrown out. What do you guys think is going to happen in this court case? Do you think, Bungie's going to be able to find a way to defend themselves? Because genuinely, I don't believe that they'll be able to, if I'm being completely honest. But it's just interesting to see how things have kind of ended up in this way. And especially if you played like Destiny, what do you reckon? Because I feel like a lot of people aren't playing Destiny anymore because they just don't like where Destiny has now effectively gone. So yeah, with all that being said, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 500 subs by the end of the year. With all that being said, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.